In a world of constant economic fluctuations, taking control of your finances has never been more crucial. Recent market volatility, look at last Monday, $1.4 trillion lost in the stock market in a single day. That serves as a reminder of the unpredictable nature of our financial landscape, and the booms and the busts happen year after year after year. Yes, we've been in a market that's been going up for almost a decade now, but now we've seen a little bit of ebbs and flows in the last couple years. So by developing time-tested financial habits, you can navigate these turbulent waters with confidence and stability. The presentation today is going to guide you through the process of creating intentional spending habits, setting clear financial goals, and ultimately achieving the freedom. Because what do we all want? We all want freedom. The freedom for your financial future. Get ready to embark on a transformative journey that will empower you to make informed decisions and build lasting financial security. Look at that beautiful sunrise. Things are always going to get better. Just like Annie said, tomorrow will always be better, right? So the power of intentional spending. We have to recognize the impact of our habits. When you go to a nutritionist and you're like, hey, I really want to get in shape. Anyone put a chat or an I in the chat if you ever started off the new year with some health habits that you wanted to change. You want to lose weight, you want to put on muscle, you want to get more flexible. Give me an I if you've ever went through that cycle. There we go. We got one honest person in the crowd. Thank you, Frank. And we've all been there, right? And we want to understand when we go to ask for help, first that takes vulnerability. It's not easy asking for help. It's recognizing where you're at today is not what your future self calls you to be. And so when we go ask for help, the first thing a good nutritionist is going to really talk to you about is, well, why do you want to reach these goals? Thank you, Joshua. Why do you want to reach these goals? What's so important about these goals to you? Why do you want to be more fit? Is it for a wedding? Is it for like a reunion? Is it for a special occasion? Like, what is the thing that you're trying? Are you doing a race maybe? Are you doing an adventure? What is it that has you working towards this goal? And then they're going to have you weigh in. They're going to have you write down, you guys have heard me say this before, but write down everything you eat and drink, because it's crazy how much sugar is in what we're drinking and how much sugar is in some of the condiments and the other things, and how unhealthy that really is, and how that keeps unnecessary weight on us because there's so many preservatives, there's so many things that aren't natural. We want to weigh in. And it's the same about our finances. We want to be able to recognize our habits, right? Think about Gandhi's sayings. It's our beliefs become our thoughts become our words become our actions become our habits become our values, and values become our destiny. So it starts between our ears. And this really, really valuable real estate with how are we thinking? What do we believe about ourselves? So we want to understand that our habits, which start with our beliefs, are going to influence our future self and impact everyone around us. So we want to have that definitive, clear goal and a big enough why tied to it. We want to track our habits because that what gets measured gets monitored or managed. And if it's not going to get improved. You have to measure and monitor things. And some of us are artistic types. We don't want to measure and monitor. We have a hard time doing things on a schedule. So that's why we want to build these habits. And we want to celebrate the wins. If we do something for 4 days, we intended to do for a week, celebrate. That's more than half, right? And then we want to adjust. That's the last piece of this right here. So recognize the impact of our habits. We're setting clear, concise goals. We're implementing a tracker, which is what I'm going to be showing you guys today with a powerful tool that our team created, that my partner created, and she rocks at this stuff. So I've shared this once with you before, but this is the upgraded version. It's going to be able to track everything and give you a winning outcome. So stay tuned so you can be shown, taught this new piece to help you succeed. And then you can adjust and refine and see what works for you, because what works for one person might not work for someone else. What works for Anthony might not work for Brenda, and Derry for Frank, or Jamila for Jay. Like, it just depends, right? And we're gonna We want to uncover that financial why. We want to be able to visualize our future, to become our future self, to really vividly picture what do we want? What is that big thing? You guys put in the chat, what is the big thing in the next 10 years, the next 5 years, your 5-year vision, your 10-year vision, your 3-year picture, your 1-year plan, and your 90-day process. Put in, like, what is that big thing that you're looking to accomplish? What is the thing that would get you really excited? And then you want to identify those motivations. You want to see, is this something for my ego? Is it for contribution? It's okay if it's for your ego. What is the thing that has you wanting to get that fancy car? Is it something you fell in love with as a kid? You saw it in your friend's garage or their parents' garage. You want to create that connection with it, that emotional connection. And then you want to set the measurable milestones. You want to break down your big financial dreams into smaller, achievable steps. Step by step. You're not going to just start off going and trying to be and become a black belt and then throw in all the different stuff that you're throwing in a black belt curriculum. No, you're going to break it down to, okay, what's the first thing? How do we throw a jab? How do we throw a cross? We're going to start looking at the pieces and we start putting them together. And then Tony Robbins has this great saying, and thank you for sharing in the chat your dreams. Share, have a conversation there. Encourage each other, right? It's awesome. So Tony Robbins has a great saying that we usually overestimate what we can do in 1 year, but we drastically underestimate and undervalue what we can do in 5. And this is why today's training is so important, because I've had thousands and thousands of conversations at this point, and I can tell you what the average American is doing. Now, everyone here is not average. You guys are already investing in the biggest resource I've already talked about, which is between your ears, your biggest asset, your mindset, your understanding, your truth, and you're willing to establish that financial baseline. And again, today when we go through the tracker, which I'm going to show you here in a moment, we're going to go back and we're going to look like, what are our essentials? Our mortgage, our utilities, our groceries, the household necessities, our health and life insurance premiums, right, to protect our family, the essentials. Those are the things that are going to be 50% of this pie. And then our lifestyle, which is our fun. Like, we got to have some fun and magic in our life, right? Our dining out, our entertainment, the subscriptions to our Netflix, our Peacock, or Amazon, or Apple TV. There's so many subscriptions. I recommend not having so many unless it's okay. But there's better things to keep your time occupied. Your personal care, your hygiene, your haircuts. I have friends who get a haircut every Friday. They always look sharp, on point, because it makes them feel good. And your hobbies, your leisure, the things that you want to do. Those are your lifestyle. That's 30%. And then your future self. Remember, we're all multiple people. I know it sounds a little weird. It sounds a little bit like Split, the M. Night Shyamalan movie I'm talking about. But we're all have all these different personalities, right? Like for me, like just look at a couple of my different personalities or personas. I am a son, right? I have loving parents, so I am a grateful son. I'm a loving father of 2 amazing boys. I am a husband. I'm a business owner. I am a money mentor. I'm a martial artist. I'm an artist, a fine artist. Let's see, a surfer. There's so many different things, right? I'm almost an investor, right? I am making money through, I'm a banker. There's a big one. Almost forgot that one. So what are some of the things that you guys are that you are really excited about your future self? And we want to be paying that future self. Remember the first 2 commandments? Love God with our heart, mind, and soul. Love thy neighbor like thyself. God, self, neighbor. I was saying this on Hannah Kessler's podcast last week. Love ourselves. What if we loved ourselves a little bit more? This is our emergency fund, our retirement stuff, our investments in personal development, our creating cash flow to create that money freedom, that time freedom, and maybe our vacation and our travel funds. Those type of things. And we're crafting something that's balanced, that's going to work for each of you, because we're all at different parts. Some of us are just starting the game. Like I talked to someone who's graduated college, has a couple businesses she's starting, 24 years old, whole world in front of her. She's just getting into the game. She's in the beginning of the first quarter Maybe not even in the first quarter yet with how much longer we're living these days, right? I'm gonna be 50 this year. Exiting halftime and entering the third quarter. Others, if we're in our 60s and 70s, we might be in the third quarter or towards the end of the third quarter. So we all have different needs. So when we look at our essentials being 50%, our lifestyle being 30%, and our future you have to decide. If you have less time, maybe more is going to your future you. Now, this isn't an ideal. We stop time, we do everything, but let's talk about a little bit of reality here, right? The reality is that right now in America, we have 1.1 trillion with a T dollars in credit card debt, a little bit more as last time I looked, and we're saving. Do you guys know how much we're saving? Throw it in the chat. Throw the percentage of what you think, or down below in the comments. How much do you think we're saving per household, per year? Per year, how much are we paying ourselves? Frank's got it. Frank knows, you've been here before. That's it. We're saving 3% or less. So that means for every dollar we make, we have 97 cents going out the door. 97 cents of every dollar. So what about keeping more money in our system? And that's why we want to weigh in first. We're not even talking about how we properly structure, especially engineered whole life to, the truth is we either earn interest or pay interest on every single purchase we make. We're financing everything we buy, guys and gals, financing everything we buy. So what's that look like? We have to have a balanced financial plan built especially for you. That's going to work for you. When you want to see this, when you guys want to have this as a tool, we're going to share this, and we're not going to charge anything for this. We want you guys to be able to weigh in. I kept thinking, how can I help people that aren't ready for the infinite banking journey? How can I have them build the habits where they can go and they can value themselves, love themselves, pay themselves first, have that connection to their big ultimate goal? How can they get there, and how can we help them? I said, okay, I saw someone else and they had something similar, and I'm like, I want that, but I want it to have X, Y, and Z in addition, because we have people at all different points in our journey. So we've designed something, and I love your feedback. I want it down in the comments below, in chats and email. Share your feedback. I want to know how can we make this better for you guys, but it's pretty simple. So when you want this, you just request it. You can just put in the chat below, in the chat here, you can say intentional tracker, or when we're contacting you, intentional tracker please, or tracker please, and we'll share this. And you go in, you open it up, you make a copy first, right? You rename it, you select the format, you rename it, and then you can use this in different months. So say we're in the month of August, we're halfway through the month, we do this one, we build everything out for August, we want to duplicate that month, we rename it, and you just follow the steps we put here. And so this is what it looks like. So you may have seen this before, but this shows your essentials. Remember, this is your 50%. Anything I adjust here, so like say we make the phone $150 a month, it shows, oh, actually we're at 45.55%. That's pretty good, right? Everything here adds up to 100. So we're a little below that goal. Let's say, you have a student loan, maybe it's a little bit more, but this adds up from here, from our debts, where we have your car payments. If you have multiple cars, like here's our truck, let's call this $500 a month. Car, let's call it $450 a month. Right now we're at $950 a month. We go back to our tracker, and look, our cars went to $950. Now we're at 47, percent of the goal, and it shows us. It shows you, you're putting in how much you're making here, your total income. Shows you, look, I got my day job, I got a side hustle, I'm freelancing, right? So in this tab, it's where we're filling everything out. We're going through step by step, and we're weighing in. We're putting our actual numbers. We're looking at, our Bank of America cards to say, okay, so now I'm just gonna add a credit card here. Let's say we have 10,000 on this card. Average percent right now is 24%. But let's say, you got it, and it's 29.99%, like super predatory. And let's say you're paying, $125 a month on it, right? And then your actual payment, like this tracks too. Because remember, if we're overpaying on these things, if we're going to use our system, then this is money, this $200. Let me ask you guys a question. Will you ever earn money on this money again, that $200? Yes or no? In the chat, yes or no? So the answer, since you guys aren't jumping in, is going to be no, of course. Nope, there you go, Felix, you got it, you guys got it. And then we got our assets here. So this is one of the things I added. So whether we have qualified plans, right, for our future self, this is money that's locked up, we have a partner here, but still, it's valuable. It's things that we have been saving into, we've been intentional about. Then we have some rent, you know, where we have hard money loans out, we're lending money out, we're making, you know, 12% on this. We can put a description here. We can put equipment flipping, our stocks, day trading, crypto, like whatever you're into. And you can change these too, because remember, you're going to make a copy and you're going to use this. And then this all goes back to here. As you update this, let's say we change our gym to, you know, let's say it's $600 a month, which is crazy. But let's say you're paying for personal training. Look, it'll turn red, and all of a sudden, you're like, oh, shoot, like how do I get my lifestyle back under 30%? How do I get my future you up to, you know, 20%? Okay, well maybe I'm putting $5,000 a year into my vacation fund. And now look, that puts you at 49% of where that 20% is. And so now you're all out of whack, right? So we have to look, how can we make more money to do that? So you guys can play around with this. It'll be an awesome tool of how you can really be intentional. Is there any questions before I go back to the presentation? So this is, again, all you have to do is down below when you're watching this, just put intentional tracker and we'll make sure we get you a copy. We might need some more information from you, but we'll make sure that we communicate. You know, you can DM me, we'll get a copy to you. I got a request here. If you guys aren't seeing it, just reach out to me, communicate. I'll make sure that we find a way to get this to you. It's something I've been super excited about, and my request is that you give feedback, that you let us know, hey, it's working, I love this, or hey, this doesn't work. Just tell us, give us feedback so we can serve you and help you really know where you're at today. All right, so now you guys saw the intentional tracking spender. You guys pretty excited? I get everyone in here has said yes, they want it, so that's awesome. We'll make sure that I capture all of the names and get you guys all a copy of that. When we're tracking our progress and staying accountable, right? When we look, one of the things that has changed my life and my wife's life and our family's life is we have we're going to go jump to number 2 here, partner accountability. We have a money meeting every Tuesday at 9 Eastern. You guys try to get on my calendar at 9? You can't. You know why? Because there's a money meeting. We sit down, we invite money into our family, we talk about money, we talk about the things that the money is going to give us access to, whether it's scaling our business, spending more time with our family, creating a cash flowing asset. We're having conversations. How are things going? How are they progressing? We're measuring, we're monitoring, we're looking at our spending habits. We're checking our intentional spending tracker. This is how this was created, and we're having a meeting around this. And some days it's super productive, other days it's not, but it's something you stick with. We've been doing it now for over 2 years because we all communicate differently. So I invite all of you, have a money meeting with your spouse, with your business partner, with your kids. Really get intentional about inviting money into your family. We also have a weekly review, which is a little separate from the money meeting that we have to prepare. Like, think about this, when you read something like The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, and now he's added an updated version, the Miracle Morning starts when? Does it start in the morning? You guys think it starts in the morning? What do you think? Yes or no? Does the Miracle Morning? No, the Miracle Morning starts when? It starts the night before. It's our evening routine. If we're getting up and we're going to work out at 5 a.m., we're part of the 5 a.m. club, well then we're going to make sure that we're starting to get ready the night before. We're laying our clothes out, we're getting any nutrition we need, we're getting our equipment ready. And that way, in the morning, you don't have to think about it. You just roll out of bed, put your feet down, get your body going, and now you're out the door. And so it's that same thing. Before your money meeting, you want to have a weekly review. Check in. How are you doing if you have credit cards? I don't recommend using them unless you're getting points and you're paying it off every month. It can be a very slippery slope. So if you don't have good habits, I recommend staying away from credit cards. You have time to look and really weigh in every week, see how you're doing, Then you have the money meeting, and based on that conversation, you're going to adjust, you're going to optimize. Remember, don't make anything wrong or right. Don't have energy, and it's hard with money. Don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you that this is something that happens every single time in our household, but I can share with you that, hey, we make mistakes. We get upset about things. We bring stuff into a meeting that has nothing to do with money because it has emotion. It has energy. Money has to stay in motion. It has energy because it's moving, right? So adjust, optimize. Ask, how can we do this better? What's working? What's not working? And celebrate. Celebrate the milestones. Celebrate, like we're about to have a first lien HELOC, and it's something where, you know, whether we use it to hard money loan or not, like I mentioned Warren Buffett sitting on $277 billion of cash with a B. Yes, that's someone who shows what intentional habits and really making sure that he knows, likes, and understands whatever he is doing. And so now you want to celebrate your milestones. Celebrate the fact that you had a money meeting. Celebrate that you've done the reviews. Celebrate that you're making progress. Because why? Progress equals what? You guys hear me saying this all the time. Pop in the chat, pop it down below. Progress equals happiness. It's that simple. And embrace, there's two pains in life. And see how all this all ties together? It's all the same thing, everyone. It's just a matter of being honest with ourselves and asking ourselves a question right now. I'll give you the biggest secret of working out, right? Of getting in shape. If you guys aren't happy with your weight, say you want to start your journey for infinite banking, you want to get approved by a mutually owned dividend paying whole life company, you want to jump in and start the process, but you're like looking and thinking, man, these pants are kind of tight, this shirt's kind of tight. Guess what? Simple. I'm going to save you thousands and thousands of dollars and lots of research. Move more, eat less. Now, it doesn't solve, that solves everything, but then people are like, I can't move more, I can't eat less, I love this, I love that. Like, there's all these other stories, but that is the same thing with money. It is make more, spend less, and embrace discipline, because there's two pains in life. There's either the pain of regret or the pain of discipline. You guys choose, you gals choose. We get to choose. We want to choose that discipline over regret. We want to prioritize long-term thinking, and we're not talking 10 years, we're talking 30, 50 years. What is our actions today? What are our habits going to give us in the future? If you're not moving your body now, your body's not going to be kind to you in the future. We want to be preventative. This is preventative advice. This is preventative measures financially. This is a new thought. I went through Money 2.0 before from Money 1.0 because that's a medical term, right? There's a great book that talks about the medicine 1.0, which is surgery, which is giving medicine to everything, which is not preventative. So we want to do the same thing with money. We want to learn from the setbacks. We want to, because that's where we grow. Like, did you guys see breakdancing at the Olympics? How did that form? Somebody fell down one day and they're like, oh, I want to be cool. Oh, right? That's not me breakdancing, but just saying, like, we have to fall down to be able to learn how to dance. And we want to avoid unnecessary debt. Right now, what we're doing adds up to craziness. We make money, where does it go? Unless you're practicing infinite banking, it goes directly into your bank account, right? Into your bank account. What happens? The banks make 400 to 1,300% on our money. What happens when we need money? We go back to the bank and we take out a credit card, we take out a line of credit, we take out a loan. And then what happens? Then we're paying interest back to them. So all I'm saying is change the one thing. If you change one thing, you'll change everything. Avoid unnecessary debt. Choose discipline. When we look at the celebration, how would you guys celebrate? How would you celebrate when you have progress? What are some of the things you'll do? Pop it in the chat. Like, are you taking your spouse on a date? Maybe you're going to catch a game. Maybe you're going out to have ice cream, dancing, bowling, for a walk. Maybe you're just going someplace quiet and sitting together. So here's some of the milestones that we could celebrate. You complete your emergency fund. Now I recommend 1 month being in a bank, 1 to 2 months, and the rest being in your system, right? Your privatized banking system. Go out and have a nice dinner. Go someplace that you've been seeing, maybe a new restaurant open. We want to go to a nice Thai restaurant That's won all these awards that we haven't been to together. Right? So go check out that new restaurant. When you become debt-free, maybe this takes a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, depending on what your habits look like before, but have a weekend getaway. Go have a long weekend getaway. I put weekend, but make it a 3-day getaway. Have a long weekend getaway. Now you've built your wealth through your debts and expenses. You have secured your family. Now you've saved $100,000 or $50,000. It's a major milestone. High fives, hugs, a luxury experience. Maybe you're going on a cruise to the Mediterranean or to Alaska, or you're going on some exotic adventure. You're hiking Mount Kilimanjaro. You're doing something really awesome. Something that you will never forget. Because money doesn't buy you that. Money just gives you the freedom to do the things. And then you win your game. You're using that intentional tracking, meaning winning your game means that every dollar that is coming in, that you're earning interest, that's getting paid to you, you've lent money out, you made investments, you have a cash flowing asset. Now your passive income, your mailbox money, exceeds your earnings, your active income. You've won your game in my definition. You've bought money freedom, you've bought time freedom, you've bought relationship freedom. You no longer need to answer to anybody if you don't want to. Go on your dream vacation. Go on the #1 thing on your bucket list. And if New Zealand's not on that list, put it on there. Put on Queenstown, New Zealand. There's so much to do for whatever age you are, whatever you love to do, whether it's spas or outdoor adventures or history. Super, super cool. Lord of the Rings, if you're a dork like I am. All of those things, right? So at the end of the day, you guys have all requested the intentional tracking report. I'll make sure I get that to you. You know, if you want to have more of a conversation how you apply intentional tracking, you've had the discipline, you're paying yourself first, you know that there's so much uncertainty coming in the near future because you feel it. You saw 1.4 trillion lost in the market last week. You see Buffett sitting in cash. You see Bezos sitting in cash. I am not some financial talking head guru, anything like that. But the writing's on the wall. We know things are going to change like they always do, like they always have, they will continue doing. So what do? We have to prepare. We have to secure our future, take control of our money, put it someplace where it's guaranteed, where it's safe, where the banks are storing $200 billion. Why are they doing that? Right? Why are they doing that? If you guys want to have a conversation with me, schedule. My link's right there. You know, jason.beyourownbanker.com/30. Schedule a call with me. If you guys have any questions, I'm happy to stick around. But again, it's been amazing spending the time with you. Remember, all the way back to the beginning, starts off with what is our why? What is our beliefs? What is our big vision? Why do we want those things? How do we intentionally put it on paper, pick discipline? How do we track it, measure and monitor? Celebrate the success, celebrate our success together, and have fun. We get to do this one time, guys. So thank you all for being here. Super blessed as always to share this. Next week, there's a special guest host. You guys have known him if you've been around the campfire. He's a close friend of mine, someone that I look up to literally because he's about 5 inches taller than me. He's got flowing hair. He has, you know, someone who I am excited for his future and what he's going to bring to you guys. So don't miss next week. Make sure you're here. What we've covered today is how can we have discipline. We picked discipline over regret. How can we intentionally track that? I went through a training of a free tool that we're offering. Comment below, you know, that you want the intentional tracker. DM me and we'll make sure that we get you a copy, get you, you know, included on that so you can create your own to measure and monitor your progress. Weigh in, if you will. If you're new here, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you're alerted to new content. Again, today we talked about how can you take your finances, how can you financially weigh in, how can you balance your essentials with your lifestyle, with your future dreams, your big vision, your why, the thing that pulls you towards an amazing future. God put us here to be in His image, not alongside of Him, in His image. So we want to be the best versions of ourselves, and we need to have the financial resources to do that. Just meaning that we need to have energy to be able to create more for others. So we went through the intentional tracking spender. We uncovered your financial why. We established your baseline. We balanced out your essentials, your lifestyle, the future you. We measured and monitored. We talked about having a weekly review, having a meeting, a money meeting, adjusting, optimizing, and celebrating. Progress equals happiness, y'all. So make sure that you pop into this next video here. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Keep learning, keep investing in this valuable real estate between your ears, and be blessed. I wish you nothing but the best on your journey. I'll see you in the next video.